food writer extraordinaire Melissa Leong is joining me in the kitchen today, and we're going to make the most divine cake.
Secret ingredient is sweet potato. It's a really good one for hiding the veg, you know, for kids.
Yep.
But also it just adds a really lovely kind of fudgy, almost like a chocolate brownie texture to this cake. So I really love it.
And Melissa, what are you doing over here?
Okay, so I'm melting about 85 grams of chocolate just in a bowl over some boiling water. So what I'm going to get you to do is go to our star ingredient, our sweet potato. So with the sweet potato, what I'm going to get you to do is just slice open the top and scoop out the insides and pop them in that bowl. And while you're doing that, I'm going to mix all of the dry ingredients together.
Look at this. This has been cooking for what, about an hour?
About an hour, depending on the size.
And you can see how easy it is. It just comes out of its little skin jacket.
So just scoop it out and just sort of mash it with a fork.
Okay. So again, it's very straightforward. Dry ingredients, wet ingredients.
That's exactly it. So I've just popped some almond meal in with my coconut sugar. So I've got about 2 cups of coconut sugar and about 200 grams or so of almond meal.
This recipe is going to appeal to so many people because it's also dairy-free.
It is actually, it's dairy-free as well. So it's just one of those really great recipes to have in your arsenal when you have a bunch of people coming over. You might not know all of them.
Yeah.
It just kind of pleases everyone, and dietaries are all taken care of without any big deal because everybody likes chocolate. So
exactly.
So I've just popped in some cocoa powder in there as well, and about 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so I'm quite heavy on the cinnamon front, but it's really up to you. And then just some gluten-free baking powder. And just a pinch of salt as well. I'm just going to mix everything together.
All right, and I'm going to mash all that together. You can see how soft it is.
All right, so Jazz, what I'll get you to do is measure me out 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, please. Nice. And I'm going to take our beautiful melted chocolate, try not to eat any along the way, and pour that into our sweet potato. And then after that, you'll crack in 3 eggs. And we'll just mix all those wet ingredients together till they're nicely combined, and then introduce them to our dry things.
Nice. All these ingredients, you just know that this is going to be quite a moist cake, particularly the extra virgin olive oil.
Absolutely.
It gives it a wonderful flavour.
Yeah.
But you're definitely not going to get any dry cake here.
Exactly. I mean, you know, olive oil is a really classic ingredient in Italian cakes especially, and so you don't always have to use butter, you can use olive oil. And so it will give you a really dense, fudgy kind of texture. So if you're ever worried about your cake being too dry, you will definitely not have a problem with this particular cake at all. And don't worry about there being a lot of oil. It's very, very good for you.
Yes.
And it will be the magic ingredient just to keep the cake really, really lovely and moist.
And this is such an easy recipe, especially with 2 hands, makes light work.
Absolutely. And no mixers necessary as well. You can do everything by hand. So if you don't have a stand mixer or a food processor, doesn't matter, you can still put this one together.
And then a little bit of vanilla?
A little bit of vanilla, again, as you like it, about a teaspoon, I think, or a good slug, as I like to say. I don't really like very specific measurements.
Exactly.
So what we're going to do is then mix this in with the dry ingredients. And then pop it in a springform baking tin into the oven for about an hour at 180.
All right, Melissa, this cake has come out of the oven. It's cooled down.
Yep.
Feels so fudgy.
Right time to make the icing because the cake does need to be a little bit cool to ice. So I'm just going to get on with it. So pop this on, cocoa powder.
You think icings will be really decadent, rich, lots of butter, but this is quite healthy again.
No, cocoa powder, water, a little bit of honey or maple syrup.
For the sweetness, nice one.
Again, some cinnamon. Now I'll get you to pour me about 1/4 cup of olive oil, which is our secret shiny ingredient.
Nice one.
Okay, so thank you for pouring the oil. I'll get you to pop out the cake and pop it on the tray.
Oh, do you trust me doing that?
I think I can trust you to do that. A little bit of vanilla essence in there.
Nice.
Now, once this actually is pretty much nearly boiling, high simmer, we'll take it off the heat.
Okay.
And then just vigorously whisk in the olive oil, and that will give it that gorgeous, glossy kind of ganache look, which is what we want.
So you don't put the olive oil in at this stage?
No, everything but the olive oil, and then the olive oil goes in last.
All right, so we're going to take that collar off the cake.
Yep.
And then baking paper?
Yep. And so what I'm going to get you to do, a little cheat method to make it look a little bit extra fancy, is we're going to serve it flipped upside down.
Oh, all right. So I'm just going to put the rack on, the easiest way. Flip it. It's quite a dense cake, so you can be a little bit flexible.
Exactly. You don't have, you can manhandle it a little bit. So
And
Ta-da!
Yay!
Ooh,
Looks great.
Oh, that looks amazing. Now that this is really lovely and thick, I'm just going to really, really vigorously mix in this olive oil so it's... and try not to get it all over your beautiful kitchen.
That's fine.
Start
It's a working
slow.
kitchen.
And you can see that it's got a gorgeous, thick, glossy texture, and that's what you want.
I'm gonna have a taste. Ooh.
So
Ooh, I
delicious.
like that.
Okay, so just going, this has cooled down
That's
a little
delicious.
bit. Yep, and we're just going to pour this straight over the top, and I might, look at that.
See when there's silence in the kitchen. Because
Is there anything more beautiful than melted chocolate?
Melissa, that's art right there.
So I'll just get you to now smooth over our beautiful ganache so we have a lovely finished product that we can decorate.
I love seeing it just cascade down the sides. Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
So enjoyable just doing this process right now.
Gorgeous.
Where are all
So,
the sides? Got the sides?
yep, we're pretty good to go. If you could hand me those berries, we'll
Sure
do a last
can.
little bit of decorating flourish, and then we're ready to dig in.
So you've got blackberries and you've got some blueberries.
Yeah, so pretty much anything you like.
And you can see these colours work so nicely together. I prefer the purple tones with brown as opposed to red. I just think it just goes so nicely together.
I think there's just something really kind of soothing and very stylish about the colour combinations. So,
And I've got a little palette knife underneath there. And then we'll just pop that cake. Ooh. All right. Ooh. Good transplant.
nailed it.
We nailed it. Melissa, that is a sensational cake. I think it's time to have a taste, right?
I agree.
I'm going to cut this straight down there. And naturally, I have a plate and 2 forks ready to go.
Well, we can't fight each other over
No
it with
way.
hands, so.
Look at that. Oh, you know what it looks like? Fudgy brownie inside.
That's exactly it. It's a brownie masquerading as a cake, really. So, thank you.
One for you, one for me. Let's dig in. Look at me, I'm such a bully when it comes to tasting things. Just butt in there. That is such a decadent but healthy cake.
It is. Have another one.
You did well, my friend.